Hey everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. Yeah, I really don't know how long that Polish commander is going to give me for the intro to this video, right? How are you all doing? Hope you're well. It is Monday, and I think I'm on day 4 or 5 of releasing videos every single day for the rest of the year. It's going pretty good, but I tell you one thing that isn't going good is that Wargaming's replay system, for some reason, is having an absolute nightmare with old versions of World of Tanks. Anyway, I've got more than enough replays saved up to be able to feature, and today everything is going to go right. Don't you just love it when that happens in World of Tanks? You are going to be seeing a couple of games where for some reason everything just decided to work out. Well, at least everything apart from the first shot by the looks of it, as the first one narrowly misses the tier 7 French wheeled light tank on the enemy team. So I'm playing in the 45 TP. This is the tier 7 Polish heavy tank, and it's a lot like a T-29, although it's not. This is a T-29 that really sacrifices armor to be able to gain combat capacity and also a bit of mobility. But it's not the top speed limit of this tank that's truly special, as it is limited to 35 kilometers an hour like the T-29 is. But you do have a better power to weight ratio, and so you can afford to be more aggressive in this tank than something like the T-29 that we see on our left. Now at the start of this battle, as a top tier heavy tank, I knew I had to be influential in it. And when you're playing on Arctic region or Mannerheim line, whatever you want to be calling this map, heavy tanks will usually gravitate towards the southeast corner of this map. That's the standard location for a heavy tank to go. However, I thought, if I go down there, what am I likely to fight? I'm likely to fight the T-29. I'm likely to get pummeled by artillery again and again and again. So instead, I decided that I would make my way along the north of this flank and I would try to assist the mediums. And when you've got artillery support, I really feel like this corner that you see me mousing over it, kind of the EF9 area, can be a real good stranglehold to hold back an enemy advance if you do have self-propelled guns. And so I just didn't want to advance through the southeast, and I thought I had more opportunity to make an aggressive play along the north. When I play along the north, as long as you don't get held up in the location that you see me here right now, you don't really have to worry about enemy artillery so much. Oh yeah, that Panzer III-4 on the enemy team definitely has to worry about me there. Now we're engaging a Japanese heavy tank who's using the big caliber gun and fires an armor-piercing round into our tracks. I'm quite happy that one didn't go through our hull armor, as we do have 50 millimeters. Surely that means that the 152mm caliber gun on the OI should have been able to overmatch. Well, it doesn't look like maybe all of the side armor on this tank is 50mm. In fact, I'm going to have a quick look at the armor model on this vehicle just to take a look to see why that one didn't overmatch. Or maybe it actually just missed the hull altogether, because the OI with that derp gun does have a 152mm main armament. Unless I'm a little bit mistaken with the caliber of the main armament. It is... oh, wow. Actually, it's 149.1 millimeters in caliber. So that's a very good example of where 1mm or 2mm of gun caliber can make all of the difference. Because the OI has a sub 150mm caliber gun, that means that unlike a KV-2, it can't overmatch the side of this tank with an armor piercing round. And so I guess very fortunate there by me to not get penetrated by the OI, and literally where a millimeter made all of the difference in this example. Alright, so great result, managing to put 3 rounds into the OI, shutting him down from full health, and we get to move on. That's because this vehicle has a decent damage per minute. It's definitely not 10 out of 10, but the damage per minute is just a little bit better than the T-29. You're packing 1,745 damage per minute, which it's definitely not great for a heavy tank, but it's not awful. You can definitely make it work. And when you're a top tier tank like this, 1,700 feels great because you're going to be killing multiple tanks per minute. Talking about killing multiple tanks per minute, we're already on 3 kills 4 minutes into this round, and it's neck and neck. We're ahead by 2 tanks, and again, it looks like my team have done a fantastic job in holding up the southern advance. And by me crunching along the north of this map, and now putting pressure on the enemy artillery, oh, I love killing Lefes. Definitely one of my favorite things to do. We see there's a Panzer IV directly ahead. We narrowly avoid the Hummel shell from the right. We use our medkit to remove the stun, and hopefully we're going to roll high enough to be able to shut them down, but oh dear, disaster as the shell goes slightly high and left. What are you talking about, QuickyBaby? I thought you said this was the video where everything goes right. Well, at least it did there. I guess sometimes, 2 strikes and it looks like the Hummel is out in this example. At least it wasn't a third. So we're going to now blitz. This is where you want to be in a heavy tank, where you're kind of locking down low-tier opponents in this case. And with a gun like this, and the aim time that the vehicle has, it's definitely rather phenomenal for being able to pick up these kills towards the latter part of the game. So it's crunch time. All we've really got to deal with now is a T-29, and as long as I don't get caught out in the open by the Su-100, we should be okay. There's that Panzer IV that hurt us earlier, and the Su-100's actually making his way around the corner. Quickly turn our tank around, but it's not enough, and the Su-100 is actually using the 100mm gun and not the 122. I'm quite happy about that, because it means that he's not going to do 390 damage to me, but it also means that the Su-100 really has to get multiple shots into me with the lower caliber gun to make efficient trades. So will the Su-1 be able to hit my turret? No, he doesn't, so we're going to be able to finish him off with our second shot, and the Panzer IV valiantly tries to flank our vehicle, but it is going to be too little, too late for the Tier 5 German medium tank, and we're going to secure our Radley Walters medal this game with 8 kills, and now all that is left is to find the T-29. I bait the shot off my upper hull, make my way over the ridge, and put a premium round through the front of his tank. 9 kills in 6 minutes? Yeah, I'll take that. Next up, we're probably playing one of the best vehicles tier for tier in the game. Of course, it's the Tier 7 German premium tank destroyer, the E-25. This vehicle has it all. It's got speed, it's got accuracy, it's got crazy damage per minute that's equal to most Tier 8 and Tier 9 tanks, and it also has one aspect to the vehicle that is just outrageously overpowered, and that is the camouflage that this tank has. You see me just opening up against my opponents right in front of me, and it takes 3 or 4 shells before somebody has actually managed to spot me on the enemy team. That's because the E-25 comes from a time when premium tanks used to have tank destroyers used to have a class bonus. Every single tank destroyer in the game used to have an extra camo rating, or shall I say, they would lose less camo rating when they fire. And so they actually retain 25% of their camo rating even after they fired. What that means is that, actually I think it was more like a third camo rating you would retain. And so what that means is that if you can get yourself about 60% camo with a camo net, then you could still have 20% camo rating, or in the E-25's example, 25% camo rating even while firing. That's right, the E-25 while firing has better camo rating than most medium tanks on the move. That's how outrageous this vehicle is, and so you can pretty much just sit in front of people and just constantly harass them, and it does go very well in the tank. Now, Wargaming removed this class bonus from all of the tank destroyers in the game, apart from the premium ones at the time, because of course they never nerf premium tanks, right? And so that's left vehicles like the E-25 and vehicles like the Su-122-244, as well as the low-tier French tank destroyer. I can't even remember the name. Was it the FCM 40T 4-pack 36 something or other? That vehicle as well has the bonus where it just retains more of its camo rating after firing. Basically a broken version of the game, still in the current form of the game. I wonder if Wargaming will do that with the high explosive guns on the KV-2, for example, when they change the high explosive mechanics, if that does manage to leave the sandbox test server. Oh well, we'll just have to see. Alright, so an absolute riot so far for the E-25. We managed to pick up a couple kills and dealt 1,000 damage, and I'm wondering why we're not hitting the SP-1C there. I swear there's got to be a tank. And there was! And for some reason, I wasn't actually managing to do any damage to the A3E2 on the enemy team, until of course we do start to, and we're locking down his tracks and we're nailing him there. We pick up our 3rd kill, and we're just going for an absolute riot right now, and that's what you can do in the E-25. This tank is just absolutely ridiculous. Every time Wargaming sell this tank, they kind of make their game worse, but at least they get 50 euros for it, so I guess from a business standpoint, it's not really a bad thing for them. But yeah, terrible for the player base. This vehicle is Tier 7 with preferential matchmaking, so it can never meet Tier 9 tanks. Every time one of these goes into the matchmaker, it's pretty much putting in a tank that was deemed to be completely broken back available for sale, aka the tank destroyer bonus, which made the game worse because you would get shot by tanks that you couldn't see. And it wasn't because you weren't using coated optics or you weren't using binoculars. It's purely because all of the tank destroyers used to have that broken set bonus. Way back in 2011, the Wargaming inevitably removed, I believe, in 2012. Alright, so the E-25, as we can see here, absolutely ludicrous with regards to its mobility. And it's just the fact that you can just get up in your opponent's faces and fire so many multiple times before they're able to get you. This P-43 Tur on the enemy team, we could just put multiple shots in. Maybe we ammo-racked him, or maybe he just didn't have the best crew, as a lot of people won't do when they're grinding up the tech tree towards the mid part. You know, where you start to struggle, is it worth it spending this 100,000 credits to have a crew on a Tier 5 tank? That's our 7th kill. Are we going to secure a kill here? I'm thinking about ramming the guy. Actually, I don't even need to look at him because I'm already looking at where our 9th kill is going to be. And there it is. 4 minutes, 9 kills. What an absolute frenzy at the end of the game. And I'm not saying this as in, oh, I played so well. I played so well. The only thing I really did well this game is knowing how to farm up around. Who had fun in this game? I guess it's me, because I killed 2/3 of the enemy team nearly. There's only a handful of kills available for the rest of my team. Hardly any damage for them to do as well. God forbid that they're actually trying to get some experience to be able to progress up the tech tree in their standard vehicles. No, all for me, all for the E25. I bet you this thing's going to be coming back for Christmas. And look, if you want one, I'm not going to judge you. Definitely, it's definitely something. It's a very powerful vehicle, there's no doubt. But it still doesn't mean that I truly feel that every time Wargaming sells a tank like this, they're just making their game a little less friendly, and they're also, frankly, making their game worse. So an ace tanker, Radley Walters medal, Pascucci's medal, steel wall, and a high caliber for the Habisha here. We took the fight to the northern flank and we got rewarded for it with interest. And I don't think we fired too many premium rounds this game, so still make a decent profit. The E25, on the other hand, this was a Radley Walters medal for the 9 kills, but not even an ace tanker. For 9 kills, not an ace, 1,214 base and 57,000 credits profit. Yeah, that's because this is a premium tank and you will make decent credits even if you are firing the occasional gold round. So, 18 kills, ladies and gentlemen, in pretty much a 10-minute video. Hopefully you enjoyed this slice of when everything goes right, and I wish all of you all the luck in the world trying to have a nice run of games like this. Now, the 2 games that you saw here, I didn't really play exceptionally well. I just went into the positions that I needed to, put my tank in the right situation, and did the basics. And if you can do the basics, then there's nothing stopping you. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And let me know in the comments down below, what do you feel like your luckiest games that you've had are? And what tanks were you specifically playing in them? Are there any tanks that do just give better RNG? I'll have to think about that one for next time as well. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.